Hello and welcome to Unsolved Sports Conspiracies, a show where we examine sports' greatest myths and debate their validity. This week we explore the case of Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston's controversial world heavyweight bout in 1965, a fight that is now known for one phrase: the Phantom Punch. Ow. Let's dig in. On February 25th, 1964, Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali, then named Cassius Clay, fought for the World Heavyweight title in Miami, with Clay victorious, seizing the World Heavyweight title from Liston. That was Ali's last time fighting under the name Cassius Clay, because the very next day, he announced his affiliation with the Nation of Islam. A year and 3 months later, on May 25th, 1965, the rematch between Ali and Liston occurred at the Central Maine Youth Center in Lewiston, Maine. Only 2,434 paying ticket holders were in attendance, a record low for a contemporary heavyweight title fight. We'll get into why this venue was chosen later.
Already seems a little sketch.
The detail to mind from that, though, is the low attendance, and that's because the venue was chosen for some very specific reasons.
So what was this, like a high school gym? Like 2,000 people? How many people?
2,434.
2,434? That's nothing.
It really is. I mean, I had more people in my high school than that.
In the very first round of the fight, Liston was hit with a right-hander by Ali. This caused him to fall down on his back, roll over, and attempt to get up, visibly struggling. After delivering the fateful punch, Ali triumphantly yelled, quote, "Get up and fight, sucker," end quote, while the referee, former heavyweight champion Jersey Joe Walcott, tried to control Ali and forgot to start his count. Strangely, Walcott let the boxers begin to fight again, and it was only when Nat Fleischer, publisher of Ring magazine, shouted at Walcott that Liston was out that Walcott stopped the fight. This bizarre sequence of events confirmed Ali's standing as heavyweight champion.
So basically, he was counted out, but he was too busy trying to corral Ali, who was very boisterous.
So Ali was basically just too distracting.
He was dancing around over him, saying, "Get up and fight."
Who is this ref? That's just Bush League.
That being said, there are many who feel the crucial knockout blow never actually connected, and that the fall was in fact a dive. Let's get into the conspiracy.
They're saying that this is a fake punch. He never actually landed. It's WWE?
Yeah.
It's said that very few people saw Ali's right-handed punch, even those in attendance. After the punch, fans immediately started accusing the match of being fixed. Even boxer George Chuvalo, who would also later go on to fight Ali himself, stormed into the ring and accused the fight of being fixed. Ali later asked, quote, "I would like to see the videotape, if you have it," end quote. He believed that it was either his right cross or left hook that secured the win, according to a conversation with announcer Steve Ellis. However, even slow motion replays did not clearly show what happened. According to Alan Barra of the New York Times, broadcast tape of the fight is unhelpful because the cameras were in the fighters' corners and therefore did not show much of the punching. Similarly, the angle of the film shot from over the ring doesn't allow viewers to see Liston's jaw or Ali's right hand at the time of impact.
I need to see this.
Let's see the tape. Here's Ali rearing up.
They're saying that's the hit?
Yeah, that's the hit that sent him down.
Okay, fast motion.
The fast motion
definitely
looks weird, right? That looks like a
Yeah.
dive. Here's the slow motion. You could see why people thought this was a dive.
So he definitely connects on him, I think.
You know what? I'll say this. The footage itself is somewhat compelling to me, but it's the surrounding factors that are even more compelling.
So what really happened during Ali's infamously named Phantom Punch? Given boxing's shady reputation, some suspected that the fight was fixed from the beginning. Because the recordings of the fight aren't very helpful in discerning what really happened, first-person accounts are significant. Sitting next to the ring was sports writer Jimmy Cannon, who told ABC's Wide World of Sports, quote, "I saw that punch, and it couldn't have crushed a grape," end quote.
Hey,
You know what?
shots fired.
Why don't we throw Jimmy Cannon in the ring with
Yeah,
Ali?
seriously.
I'm a proponent of this theory, and I still think, take it easy, Jim.
Interestingly, Ali was never known for packing that much power in a single punch. That was not his strength. Liston's bizarre fall after the punch also suggested to some that the fight had been fixed. as Robert Lipsyte of the New York Times described it the next day. Quote, Liston collapsed slowly, like a building, piece by piece, rolling onto his back, then flat on his stomach, his face pressed against the canvas, end quote. This fall led some to believe that the fall was a performance rather than the cause of a punch, indicating that the fight was fixed. But who would have fixed the fight?
My only thought as to why you would fix this is just money. That's gotta be it, right? Like Muhammad Ali's people, we got this new great guy, let's just fix the fight.
That's a surface level scam, I could see that, but there are some deep, weird things that are going on here.
Let's get into the two theories. The first theory is that the mob fixed the fight, notorious for its involvement in the sport. People point to Liston's history, which was particularly suspicious. Liston worked as a chauffeur and muscle for St. Louis mob boss John Vitelli early in his career. In addition, Frank Blinky Palermo.
Blinky?
Yeah, see, the more innocuous the middle nickname is,
That's
the
bad.
scarier the man is.
That's bad.
What's the most nice sounding nickname you could think of that would strike fear into your heart?
Sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine some guy named Vinny Sweetheart Casaroli walks in.
Holy
oh,
that's
no.
terrifying.
Yeah, I can't deal with Sweetheart.
Frank Blinky Palermo was an associate of the infamous Frankie Carbo, the man suspected to be responsible for whacking Bugsy Siegel. And Palermo was also Liston's manager while Liston was becoming famous around the world. In the late 1950s, the majority of Liston's contract was owned by Carbo and Palermo. Under their control, Liston participated in 12 fights. Interestingly, Palermo was present for the 1964 fight between Liston and Ali. Though Liston was the obvious favorite leading up to this fight, late money placed on Ali, then Cassius Clay, altered the odds of the fight from 5-1 to 2-1 and spurred speculations about the honor of this particular fight.
This is the first fight between the two of them.
Okay. And Ali was the underdog.
Yeah, and late money changed the odds in a weird, suspicious way. And also, Palermo was there. Old Blinky was there for this one.
Oh, I don't like Blinky. I'm like looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, I know, I don't want
Blinky's ghost.
You think you're gonna spur theories about me, hamburger?
Say that to my tummy gun, burger.
Say that to my rod. That's what gangsters called guns back in the day. Take out your rod, Capa.
Oh, that means something completely different now.
Later on, Palermo and Carbo received conspiracy and extortion convictions connected to their involvement in unrelated boxing events. And in 1996, Palermo died 7 years into a 25-year prison sentence. He was 91 and is known for the infamous quote, "The trouble with boxing today is that legitimate businessmen are horning in on our game," end quote.
Basically, he's saying, they aren't allowing us to fix our fights anymore. No more fun.
I don't like this one. Yeah. It's not looking too good.
This is dark. This is very dark.
Okay.
Some speculate that Liston took a dive because of the profit that could be made from the money hinging on the fight. But Liston never substantially benefited financially from the fight. If Liston owed the Mafia a debt, taking a dive could have been a way to pay back the debt. However, there's no clear evidence that he was indebted to the mob.
Was Liston going into this fight the heavyweight champ?
He was going in trying to get his...
Trying to get it back from
Trying to get his
Ali.
belt back, exactly.
That's got to be a pretty big debt if he's just going to take a dive like that and lose to Ali for a second time.
He spent most of his life as muscle. It's possible that since he has these affiliations already, he could have done some things, maybe some gambling, maybe some other stuff like that, that got him a substantial amount of debt that he had to pay back. One stage hit and you're clear.
In addition, it's somewhat unlikely that the mob would want the winner to be Ali, someone who wasn't under their control. Nevertheless, if the mob did fix the fight, it's likely that Ali would have been kept out of these dealings because the mob would typically only make arrangements with the loser they decided. It's worth noting that conspiracies about the mob followed Liston until his untimely death at 38 in 1970. The authorities cited lung congestion and heart failure for his cause of death, but alternative theories include a heroin overdose as evidence from needle marks in his arm, or a potential murder by the mob.
Why are they murdering him if he carried out their plan? Did he owe them even more money?
Perhaps,
Or he's like, I'm gonna tell everyone I fixed it.
I don't know. All I know is this weird fight happens, 5 years later, he's found dead.
The second theory is that Ali's affiliation with the Nation of Islam contributed to the fix. This affiliation created controversy leading up to the fight and added to the speculation about its result. Malcolm X and Ali spent time together before his Nation of Islam announcement in 1964, but prior to the 1965 fight, turmoil within the Nation of Islam led to a split between leaders Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. Ali took Elijah Muhammad's side, and when Malcolm X was assassinated in February of 1965, some thought that Ali would be assassinated as revenge, possibly even as he was boxing. Paranoia swirled before the fight that assassins would be coming to the event. This is one of the reasons why they had to fight in such an obscure venue.
So they were afraid that someone was going to kill Ali at this fight.
Yeah, and that would make sense to me that a lot of venues are like, hey, I don't want murder to happen in my place.
Some speculated that Liston worried he would be accidentally assassinated instead of Ali during the fight. Ali was apparently concerned that these rumors could negatively impact Liston. In typical Ali fashion, he said, quote, "You're going to scare Sonny. That man don't have the mind like I do. I can cope with the rumors, but don't go scaring Sonny," end quote.
Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest trash talkers ever.
What a boss.
He's just a G.
This guy is saying, hey man, I don't give a about getting shot, but dude over there is a little fragile.
Yeah.
So
wow.
maybe
he might be shaking in his boots.
Maybe take it easy when you're talking all this talk.
In boxing historian Nigel Collins' book, Boxing Babylon, he suggested, quote, "During training, Liston had been visited by a couple of tough guys claiming to be representing the black Muslims. Their message was brutally simple. If Liston regained the title, there would be a bullet waiting for him," end quote.
What? They loved Ali so much.
Yeah, this is like this guy positing that the Nation of Islam is threatening Liston.
No, come on. The Nation of Islam was like, hey, we got a cool boxer.
Yeah.
If you beat him, we're gonna kill you.
This is a very pointed accusation. And
yeah,
I don't know if I agree.
that's a little sorry.
Ted King, Liston's assistant trainer, seconded this theory many years later in a Sports Illustrated interview from 1991. In the words of reporter William Knack, quote, "One of Liston's assistant trainers claims that Liston threw the fight for fear of being murdered. King now says that two well-dressed black Muslims showed up in Maine before the fight and warned Liston, 'You get killed if you win.' So, according to King, Liston chose a safer ending," end quote.
No, this just sounds like the dude lost and he's making excuses.
Like sour grapes? Because this is his assistant trainer. It reflects badly on him.
Exactly. They're saying like, the only way he could possibly lose to Muhammad Ali a second time is if he threw it because he was afraid he's gonna get killed.
You know what? Maybe I'm with you.
The dude got taken out by a weak punch and that's embarrassing.
Some years later, Liston told Mark Cram of Sports Illustrated, quote, "That guy Ali was crazy. I didn't want anything to do with him. And the Muslims were coming up. Who needed that? So I went down. I wasn't hit," end quote. Though, he always denied being part of a fix. However, it's important to note Liston's accounts of the fight changed over time, so they may not be reliable.
But why in the world would Liston say that he threw it?
He went back and forth on what he is saying. I think it's a case of wounded pride, but maybe there's some credence to the first theory.
Yeah.
However, there are some that feel the fight was legitimate, and that Ali was simply the better boxer. While many in the crowd claim to have never seen the Phantom Punch, others claimed that the punch was a powerful and exactly timed hit that floored Liston.
I think the whole thing is who you're gonna trust. This guy who's lost to Ali twice, or the greatest boxer of all time?
I think the real-time footage is a little shaky. I think there's enough with the mob and Liston's background to suggest a cover-up. That's what I think.
I think that's fair. Anytime the mob plays into it, it's a little sketch.
Yeah.
Little sketch.
In Sports Illustrated, Tex Maul explained the blow delivered by Ali was enough. Maul included a quote from Liston that points to referee Walcott's late count as the reason for Liston staying down after the hit. Just after the fight, Liston said in a bizarrely upbeat tone, quote, "I didn't think he could hit that hard, but I couldn't pick up the count. I could have continued if I had picked up the count," end quote.
Imagine if he was throwing it, right? And he took a dive and he's on the ground and he doesn't hear the ref calling.
Oh yeah, he's like, come on,
oh
man.
my God. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean?
I'll just stay down.
It didn't look like a Obi-Wan Kenobi situation where all of a sudden he just freezes and lets Darth Vader kill him. Like that was thrown.
That's true.
Obi-Wan knew what he was doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Sonny Liston just throws a terrible punch and it just gets clocked.
Health professionals have also commented on recordings of the fight. Orthopedist Dr. William Hines said after watching a recording of the hit, there was a rotational component which could explain why it only took one hit to take Liston down. Rotational hits tend to be the worst for concussions. Either Liston was a very good actor, or the knockout was real.
Sour grapes. It was just sour grapes.
I could see it. I could see Liston being a little embarrassed.
He got hit right in the pride muscle and he's just like, oh, actually, I threw it.
Or he threw it, and he didn't time it well. He thought this was gonna be a big knockout blow. It was a little weird punch, and he's like,
a baby punch, he's on the ground. He's like, okay, at least the ref can call it. The ref's not calling it. He's going, oh no. Blinky's looking at me saying, stay down or I got your family.
He's got his head like down on the mat like this. He could see Blinky in the audience. He's making eye contact with him. And
Blinky's
like,
not blinking. Oh, what if that's his thing? They call him Blinky because he never blinks.
oh,
That's
so terrifying.
terrifying.
Holy I didn't even think about that. Oh man, this is a...
His grandson's just gonna come in here and throw us in the river.
Please don't kill me, associates of Blinky Palermo. I know
Yeah.
it's been a while.
So, be fair, I don't think you guys were involved.
You know what? I'm right. He's right. I don't think anyone was.
And even if you were, good for you. I hope you made some money.
Good. You're a good man. Over the next year and 9 months, Ali went on to defend his title 8 times. He was stripped of the title after opposing the Vietnam War, but later won it back. Today, Ali is remembered as not only one of the best boxers of the 20th century, but also as an activist and humanitarian. But despite the storied legacy of Muhammad Ali, it seems the mystery of whether outside figures influenced the 1965 fight between Sonny Liston and Muhammad Ali will remain unsolved.